Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. Always happy to be talking to my good friend Lee Eaton. How are you, boss?
Who's a good friend?
Well, I'm your friend. You're not my friend. I'm your friend anyway.
Nah, listen, it's good to see you.
Yep, likewise.
As always.
I know that's a lie. Let's go back to yesterday. That sort of round table thing we did with the fighters.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, no, it's good. Obviously, we spoke about it the other day. Obviously, you always see it with big fights and stuff like that. I spoke to Sheldon and we said to do something. I said, look, there's a bit of needle between a few of the fights, so why don't we do it? And he said, yeah, sweet, let's do it. Yeah, it was fun.
Like I said, the production is not as good as Sky Sports, the Johnny Nelson's. What's that called, Sheldon? Gloves Are Off. It's not like that or the HBO one back in the day. It was only me and my stupid
Johnny
camera.
Nelson when you got Lee Eaton. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Who needs Sky Sports when you got me and my camera?
Exactly that. Exactly that. No, listen, it was fun. Good bit of needle. Dan Aziz versus Sterling. Obviously, Akeem, Ennis Brown, and Philip Bowles had a little go, and then Martin McDonough and Eubank. And then there was a couple of quiet ones, but yes, it was all good. The boys enjoyed it. All footage for the boys is good.
Definitely. Well, like you say, it doesn't need to sell the fight because there's no fans and stuff like that, but it hypes up the fight for the people watching IFL TV and ESPN over in America. But let's start at the top of the card. Ennis Brown against Philip Bowles. British Commonwealth title. Very, very good fight. I mean, there is pure needle between them two fights. So
with that, it's a fight for like a proper boxing fan. It's not, you're not going to get an like a big brawl, like proper punching holes in each other. It's a thinkers fight. So listen, it's a great fight. Obviously, Philip Bowles is the Commonwealth champion. Just his last win. They both have been out for a while because this fight was meant to happen twice now. So this is third time lucky. We've all weighed in, so fingers crossed it's all good to go. But yeah, this is a great fight. Philip Bowles, Commonwealth champion. Ennis Brown is looking to add that British and Commonwealth titles to his list of titles he's already won. So yeah, it's a great fight. I'm really looking forward to it.
I done an interview with Akeem and he says, we were talking about the thing yesterday with him and Philip Bowles, and he said, I don't know why Lee says this ain't going to be fight of the night or you're not going to get a fight of the night of that, because I think if the best Philip Bowles shows up and the best British shows up, we can...
Yes, it could shock me.
Yeah.
I didn't think Liam Taylor versus Darren Techley was going to be a great fight, but look at that. That turned into a cracker, so I hope they prove...
You don't mind being shocked then, or proven wrong?
No, I hope they prove me wrong.
Yeah.
For the TV, for the viewers and stuff like that, I hope they prove me wrong. Listen, I'm going to enjoy watching it because listen, they're both very, very good fighters. You know what I mean? So let's see wherever it goes. They've got to prove me wrong now.
Exactly. Ready? You heard that? You've got to prove them wrong.
Yeah, I'll be telling him. Don't worry about that.
Next up, Dan Aziz, and this is what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to every fight on the card, but this one for me has everything to it. I mean, Dan Aziz and Andre Sterling, English titles on the line. You've got two fighters that know each other very well. One sparred hundreds of rounds. One's claiming he knocked the other one out in the sparring.
Yeah, well, that's debatable. Who knows? I wasn't there, so we'll just let them crack on with that. But obviously, both from the same area. Postcode was who's going to win, who's going to be the King of Lewisham. But now, listen, we've got every faith in, obviously, Dan. Dan's done everything right as a pro so far. Signed him from, obviously, from the amateurs. He's won the Southern area, now he's won the English. He's going to defend, fingers crossed he defends it successfully, and then we move on. But Andre Sterling is a very, very tough fighter. He's only lost to two very good fighters, Craig Richards and Liam Conroy.
Whoa, what was that?
Bit of me dinner. We were stuck in with teeth there. But yeah, so he's only lost to two good fighters. So listen, it's a hard fight for Dan. Hard night. But fingers crossed he comes through it. But there's a good bit of needle there, and I think it could be explosive. And I think they're both, if they do say what they're going to do, go in and whack themselves out. Whatever. What was it?
Bang out.
Bang out. If they're going to go bang out, then good luck to them. I'll be looking forward to that fight. and a lot of people on social media have been talking about that fight.
It's ever since we done that thing yesterday.
Yeah,
I
a lot of people
are
talking about it. Yeah, so that's it's good. It's good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another great
how
fight.
far can you've been with Dan? You said you signed it from the amateur. So how far can Dan Aziz go? I mean, he's in a tough division.
Yeah, he's in a
with the
tough
light
division.
heavyweights.
Very tough division. He had an opportunity to go into the light heavies golden contract, but him and his coach thought it was a bit too soon. Which maybe not. I thought he should go in it because there was nothing to lose, but they made that decision not to go in that, and obviously went on to win the English title, which is obviously a great title to win. I don't know how far he can go. It's down to obviously Dan, how dedicated and how he goes through his career. Do you know what I mean? But he's going to get every single opportunity from us. So he's with obviously a good team. We'll give him every opportunity to get as far as he can.
Next up, we've got Harlem Eubank and Mark McDonough. I mean, that surprised me yesterday because I must admit I didn't know they had fought each other already.
Yeah,
in the
fought
amateurs
each other twice
yeah.
in the amateurs. Martin beat him twice. But listen, the amateurs is a completely different game. Listen, I know it's still boxing, but
smaller gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Harlem Eubank's improved massively under Adam Booth and Charlie Beat. He spars hundreds of rounds with your Mick Conlons, your Josh Kellys and stuff like that. So he's been out for over a year. He's done obviously a lot of training and stuff like that, a lot of sparring. So he's improved massively. But listen, Martin McDonough had a good fight with Danny Darko. He proved where he's at. So and he's had a couple of wins since, and he's ready to go. He's a very talented fighter. He's beat some good fighters in the amateurs and that, but now he's got to transfer it over to the pros. He's only lost one fight, so if he goes and beats Harlem Eubank, then he's going to be pushing on for titles again. So, and vice versa with Harlem.
Definitely. So maybe a couple of the fights on the card that aren't getting talked about as much because there wasn't as much needle, there isn't as much talking about, but they're going to good fights within themselves anyway. Paddy McCrory against
Patrick
Mckee
McCrory versus Mckee Ellison's an unbelievable fight. That has potential to steal the show because both boys can will come and have a go. McCrory can punch a bit. Obviously, Mckee Ellison's just come off a very quick win. Was it against Christian Quintana?
Yeah.
So
he's coming off two good wins.
Yeah, two good wins. So it's a great fight. And listen, like that, the winner of that will go on to fight for obviously titles. Obviously, Mckee Ellison wants to fight for that English title. Obviously, Paddy can't fight for an English title, but there's other things out there for him to fight for. So yeah, the winner of that will move on. Another great fight, very, very 50-50. Who can't pick a winner? That's four so far we spoke about.
There's four.
We might as well roll on to the fifth one, haven't we?
Take it away, Lee.
Elliott Wow versus Corey McCullough.
There we go.
Listen, Elliott was a good amateur. Fought all over the world, boxed for England and stuff like that. He's with Al Smith. He's improved massively since he's turned over. And we said to him about if you're going to fight on the show, it's got to be in a proper fight. They went, yeah, sweet, no problems. Obviously, Corey McCullough 4-0, very, very confident. He's never boxed under 11 stone, well, under 11.5 I think, and he come in lighter than Elliott. So he's obviously been training very hard. He's dedicated and he fancies this, and it opens doors up. Obviously, Elliott's very, very early in his career, but if he's beating a 4-0 kid in his third fight, and then we move him on for another couple of fights, he could be fighting for area titles in his next couple of fights. So it's a good fight for Elliott, and looking forward to seeing him perform.
For me, it's refreshing to see two guys so early on in their career put that O, because I think that Mayweather made that something that was
massive.
Muhammad Ali lost, Sonny Liston lost, everyone lost. Do you know what I mean? But Mayweather made that zero. Now kids growing up in the boxing game might think that zero means everything to them.
During these lockdown times, that zero means nothing, because if you go and give a good account of yourself, you will be back 100% in good fights. Like it's
McCART do that. They've shown that with their fighters, haven't they?
Exactly. Look at Maxie Hughes. Maxie Hughes has gone and turned up and beat John O'Carroll. We've signed Maxie, and now Maxie's this week will be announced another fight, which another big fight for him, which is massive for Maxie. Maxie's buzzing because he's turned up and he's performed, and that's what if you're going to turn up and perform, And even sometimes if you lose, you're still going to be asked back because you've put up a great fight, and that's what we want. We want good fights. Social media this week has been like massively praising MTK for the shows, and that's what we want. That's what shows what we want the paying public to see.
Is that down to you, Lee?
No, it's down to the team. Listen, this is down to the team.
We've got a part of the team there, Sheldon. You coming on the camera, Sheldon?
But
Sheldon?
no, listen.
Who is Sheldon? Who is this guy that we talk about?
Yeah, with that, obviously, I'm down as I'm the promoter for the show. Obviously, I do pretty much most of the matchmaking, but the title fights and stuff like that, it's all a team effort. Me, Jamie Conlon, Paul Gibson, and others through the team. So it is a big team effort, and that's what we're priding ourselves on at the minute, is making good, fair matches. And just by social media this week, you can see how they're praising MTK, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure we've got the best 50-50 shows about. We've not got obviously the production and all that of Sky, BT and stuff like that, but we're doing what we can with what we got, and we're producing good fights.
Exactly.
And that's the main thing.
Definitely. I was going to get a word on Mark McKee, but I want to stay on this subject quickly. Is it difficult for you, then you mentioned you, Jamie and Paul and stuff like that, is it difficult for you to get these 50 fights, mate, and find matches for these fighters? Because like I said, I've witnessed you out there scratching your head on your laptop. Is it sometimes difficult for you to match some fighters and get these fights that you want?
100%. Matching's the worst. A matchmaker is the most thankless and the most hardest job in boxing.
Thank you, Lee.
Thank you. It's if you make a good match, you don't or anything like that. But if you make a bad match, you're like you're fucked up. Do you know what I mean? So you're never ever going to get the credit or anything like that. But not that you want credit, but I'm just saying it's a very, very hard, thankless job. Yeah. But when it goes right, you sit back and go, yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We done that. Do you know what I mean? So it's very frustrating. A lot of fighters. There's a few managers out there that are trying to capitalise on this, on the pandemic and that, so by charging silly money for fighters that don't deserve that silly money and that. But listen, when it all goes back to normal, they'll be shut out. So if they want to play the silly games, then they can play silly games. But we won't forget that. Yeah. Well, I definitely won't, and I won't want to work with them. So it happens.
It's IFL TV. Give me names.
No. So, but like there is a lot of fighters out there, a lot of managers that obviously are not doing shows themselves, so want to get their fighters out to do the best for their fighters. So like Corey McCullough, he normally be on obviously a show in Scotland, but he's going to be fighting on this. So it's working in both ways for all of us, you know what I mean? So it's working brilliant. And obviously we're doing we've got 6 fights on this show. We've got the Golden Contract coming up. We've got a few shows to announce hopefully this week. We've just made some cracking fights. One of them's absolutely mouth-watering.
Tell me off camera?
Nah, I don't think so. So that's what we're planning ahead now. We're planning for October, November, December. We're still making good fights. We're still limited to 7 fights on the card. So all the prospects and stuff like that coming up will still be in pretty reasonable fights. Like you see with Fergus Gwynn last week, fought a 6-3 kid who fought for an area title in his last fight. And who fought 10 rounds, and it was his debut. He went and won 60-54. So it just shows you we're putting our faith into our youngsters and our fighters and that, and they're stepping up. So that's how it's got to be.
Definitely, I agree with everything you said. A quick word on Mark McKee, he's fighting on the bill again. Young Scottish prospect coming through. Yeah,
Mark's a very, very good fighter. He was a good amateur. He's fighting his second debut, and his third fight, and this is his second debut, and so that's a gutsy move from any fighter, because a lot of fighters won't fight debutants. There's nothing to go back on, there's nothing to watch. No, exactly. Yeah. And Levi Dunn's game as anything for this, and he fancies the upset. So Mark McEwen's just got to be obviously on top of his game. And then he said to me earlier, he was like, I want a big fight. He went, I'll fight anyone. So I like that attitude from a young fighter who's ready to go. So Mark McEwen be in some exciting fights over the next 6 months.
Go on in, Lee. The pressure's on you now. You got your big boss watching you now.
Big boss.
Finally, obviously, before I let you go,
big brother.
Your big brother. Can we say your name, Ian? I said it anyway. Before I let you go, obviously, we've talked about the whole card, top to bottom, 50-50 fights through the whole thing, mouth-watering fights for the fans, but tell them why they should be watching tomorrow night on IFL TV and ESPN in America.
What else are you going to be doing on a Wednesday night? So I mean, to tune in, IFL TV, watch the boxing, watch some proper boxing, no fake boxing, some proper fights, and have a few beers, have a nice Chinese.
Talking about beers.
On. Enjoy your night.
There we go.
And if you're in America, well, Andy McCART had to get himself in this video. He had to get his arm in it, didn't he? At least.
Love the camera.
If you're in America, tune into the ESPN Plus. Some great fights.
Definitely, I echo that as well, Lee. Thanks for doing this for IFL TV. Always enjoy spending time with your mate.
Yeah,
you don't
feelings
think,
mutual.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see it in your face. Lee, thanks for doing this for IFL TV, bro, and
take care.
Enjoy the rest of your night, my man.
Cheers.
Don't be shy, 'cause life won't bring you down too far.